Hello YouTube, this is my Suzuki Dr125. This is my first Japanese full-size dirt bike. It was up for 190. I took the guy down to 140. It's pretty rough. Bad points. It doesn't run. It's missing a fuel line, clutch cable, air filter and some of the plastics. The front caliper is seized. The spark plug boot doesn't stay on. The fuel tank isn't original and is zip tied on. It has a hole in the case that has been JB welded and slowly seeps oil. The guy welded a 2-stroke exhaust off of a mini moto onto the original pipe, and the guy cut off the passenger foot pegs, I guess for weight savings, but he hasn't bothered to smooth his cuts down. It's just been thrown together and needs some love and a lot of little things sorting out. Only just fits into the shed, even after I took the pit bike and scooter out. First thing is drain the old fuel, put some new fuel in, and put a fuel line on. If you ever need to do this, blowing in the fuel tank makes the fuel come out quicker. Doesn't look too bad. I think I'll reuse it. I'm now going to check for spark. Okay, the spark plug was finger tight in there. That's not a good sign. It means someone's been trying to get this bike running or has been having problems with it. But by tightening it, it should gain some compression, which is good. Let's check for spark. Okay, it's got a strong spark. It's a good idea to check the oil before starting a new bike. Looks like there's no dipstick on this one. I can't see or feel anything through the hole. Looks like we're going to have to drain the oil to check it. There it goes. Looks like I'm going to need a bigger jug. Shouldn't fill up both. It's only supposed to take 850. Oh no. Clearly says here 850 millilitres right next to the oil fill cap. This is a litre jug. That's a 500 millilitre jug. And that's probably about 700 millilitres of oil. So well over a litre of oil too much in this bike. Somebody checked for spark, bought a brand new carburetor, and the problem all along was probably too much oil in the bike. Really glad I caught that. Somebody forgot to drain the oil before they changed it. While I'm at it, I think I'm going to check the oil filter. For now I'm going to reuse the oil that was in the bike. When I get it running well, I'll change the oil. Let's see if she'll start. Carb's dripping fuel, which probably means the float's stuck, so I'm going to take it apart, clean everything out. Someone's taped in this bit of tube, I guess as a spacer. The problem is, it doesn't, sit in the cap nicely, and that could end up fraying the throttle wire. But what they've missed is this bolt for adjustment that is really long, so I'm going to cut this thing out and adjust it up top. This throttle cable's seen better days. The end's a bit of twisted metal. It's all broken there, and it's totally frayed here. I have a spare throttle cable for a pit bike. I think it will work even though it is a few inches shorter. Kill switch is in the run position. Choke is on. Fuel is on. Oh, I felt something. It runs. Sounded terrible, but that was only because of the two-stroke exhaust. Next thing is to hook up a clutch, and then we should be able to ride it. The old owner gave me a new cable, clutch cable with it. The clutch is all hooked up. It seems to feel pretty good. It's not seized or anything. I think it's time for a test ride. The front brake is pretty badly seized, so for now I'm just going to take it off and zip tie it up so that I can test ride it. Kickstarter should be sort of up there, but it's at an angle, and what happens is my foot slips off as I'm kicking it, and yeah, it's not easy to kick. And the reason for that is because here the metal's sort of worn down after years of kicking, so I'm just going to put a few tack welds on there to try and get it to not come down so far. This bike never stops getting worse. Look at this. The kickstart teeth have been totally eaten up here. And it's totally chewed up in here as well. Don't know if you can see that. This is most likely from not tightening the bolt enough. A few of you wanted to know what I use to weld. It's a Clark 150 TE turbo with gas. Works pretty well for what I use it for. I don't think you can buy them anymore though, but that's what I use. Nice and level now. Should be a lot easier to start. There we go. Not running too good. First gear. I got no brakes. Actually I do, but they're just strapped to my handlebars. It's really running very poorly. Oh. Fire. Thanks for watching. Part 2 of this bike should be out by next week.